Well, no. We're going to finish this. This is good. We have to have open conversation in this country. But I don't think the compassionate thing to do.
Health disorder.
This is Vivek Ramaswamy, and this is some fire that he posted. Apparently, an LGBTQ protester came to where Vivek was speaking, and I'm guessing he's about to get destroyed, just like I destroyed Joe Bizzle for shizzle. If Joe Bizzle shows up, man, tell him I keep on letting people know that I destroyed him, because that's exactly what happened.
Give me the hard questions.
LGBTQ.
What's up?
You heard me?
I actually didn't.
LGBTQ.
Yep, what about it?
Yeah, you just said there was nothing about transgender.
Yeah, so how about this? I give you the mic, and we hear what you have to say. And then I'm going to answer you, and you'll hear what I have to say, what everybody else here has to say. Does that sound like a good deal?
I don't need a mic. Yes. I can speak louder.
Well, stand up. Tell me your name and state your question.
My name's Alexis Case, and I grew up here.
Okay.
In this town. LGBTQ is a serious situation in this world today. There are children that get bullied because they are gay, they're lesbian, they're transgender. I don't need that.
Okay. You're welcome to have it if you want.
I don't need it.
You get to ask your question, but after that, you're going to hear me give my answer. So I'll let you finish.
What is your stance on LGBTQ?
Good. Thank you for your question. I'm going to answer it. I'm going to go into a level of depth that I don't usually go into on a campaign trail, but I'm going to do it because you asked the question.
All right, before Vivek answers, I just want to know, why didn't this person decide to speak into a microphone? Did they just not want to share a microphone with Vivek? You thought you was going to get the cooties? Huh? Is that what you thought? What's your thought on LGBTQ? Because they are getting bullied, huh? The LGBTQ. Huh? Tell me what you think about that. No, I don't want your mic. I'm loud enough. Now, you let me know what you got to say about that. I got him good, everyone. Watch this. He has nothing. Let's see if he has something.
Deserve an answer. LGBTQIA, there's so many letters, they've just added a plus at the end. That's where we are now. What's going on? So the same movement, because if we're going to call that one thing, let's play it fair. The same movement that said that the sex of the person you're attracted to is hardwired on the day you're born. That was the premise of the gay rights movement, for it to count as a civil right. That movement is now saying that your own biological sex is totally fluid over the course of your life.
Hypocrites.
You can't believe both those things. Well, I think I'm going to get to a deeper say. That's where I was about a year or two ago, but I think there's something deeper going on, and I'll tell you what it is.
You see, somebody yelled out, hypocrites. Somebody said, hypocrites. And she turned around. I'm sorry, she. I look, ma'am, sir, look, okay, whatever y'all, listen, all right, keep it safe. They, them, okay, Zimzer, whomever you are, I don't want to misrepresent your identity, but y'all saw when they said hypocrites, they turned around and said, who said that? Who calling us? Who said that?
So the same movement, and by the way, let's think about the women's rights movement in this country, which said there's many ways to be a woman. You can have long hair, short hair, you can wear a skirt, you can wear jeans. Now says that, oh, if actually you want to behave a certain way, that means you're a man. So I think that the hypocrisies go all the way down, and I'll tell you what's going on. You can't believe both of those things at the same time if you're operating according to principles of sheer logic. But you can if you're adopting a faith, a cult-like belief system.
Right? Go ahead, bro.
This is controversial for me to say, but I'm going to...
Okay, I wonder why this person is acting as if they're laughing. I mean, I really would like for, like, okay, I get that you have... I'm going to let him talk first. I'm going to dive into this. I might do a whole lot of talking at the end of this. If you're still here, then I will be running my mouth. But let's go ahead and play this.
I'm going to tell you what I think. I believe that transgenderism specifically is a mental health disorder. I believe it's a mental health condition.
Okay.
Nobody cares what they think.
Well, no. We're going to finish this. This is good. We have to have open conversation in this country. But I don't think the
Not a
compassionate
fucking
thing to do.
mental health disorder.
Okay, so the lady, the person, the man, this person, this individual, instead of being an adult, you hear him say his part and you get up and say, read between the lines. Yeah, I know what and then walk off with your beer. I thought you had something. I thought you wanted something to come from this conversation. You just wanted to be heard. Like this is poor representation of the LGBTQAI plus community, because you have an opportunity. You're talking to Vivek Ramaswamy, and you could have communicated any concerns that you had. He gave you the floor. He's considering you in everything he's saying, and you want to act like a complete ass and not even allow this man to finish. See, that's the problem right there. You are not an adult. You're not. You're looking at this, listen. Okay, I'm gonna talk later, man. I'm gonna talk.
Well,
It's how they fucking feel.
well, let me. If I'm going to give you a chance to respond if you'd like, but
No,
we
I
can't have an
just
open
think-
debate in this country if we're not able to state our
That's
views.
how they feel.
That's how they feel. And you know what? I'll tell you a story, and you deserve to hear this. I met two young women in this race about 6 months ago. Their names were Chloe and Katie, two young women. They're in their 20s now. Both of them had their breasts cut off. One of them had her uterus removed.
Okay.
They're in their 20s. They regret that decision. One of them wants to have kids. She'll never have kids. The other one will never breastfeed her children. They'll never be the same because they had that done to them when they were teenagers. So no, when a young person shows up and says,
But you
my
said
gender
20.
doesn't match my biological sex, they're asking for help.
But you just said 20. That's not
They happened to them when one girl was 13 when it happened to her. She's in her 20s now and regrets it. This is what's wrong in this country. We will look back at this and say this was barbaric that we allowed this to happen in this country. That is not compassion. That is cruelty. And so I don't think the right thing to do is, I'm not going to villainize those people. You don't villainize people who are going through suffering, but you have to be willing to say when a kid shows up and says, my gender doesn't match my biological sex, you have to be able to say, what else is going wrong at home? What else might be going wrong at school? Get to the bottom of what's going on. Help that person with compassion, with dignity. So my view is this: if you're an adult, you're free to live your life however you want as long as you're not hurting somebody else.
Cut off your own ding-a-ling. Do not touch mine. I'm just the Vivek Ramaswamy interpreter. It's an interpreter. Okay.
If you're a man, you can dress how you want. If you're a woman, you can dress how you want. Identify how you want. We're a free country, and I'm not going to stop you. But kids are not the same as adults. And we have to protect our children. And I'm going to go further than that.
Uh-oh. See, they clapped for him. So she walked back because she ain't done. He ain't done. They... They aren't done.
We can't change the way that women and men compete in sports. We can't do that. We can allow you to live your life the way you want to.
I knew it. See, that right there was a challenge to their ego when they heard everyone in the room agreeing with Vivek. Oh no, you're not going to have the final say. I'm coming up. Hello? I got my hand raised. Ooh. Y'all knew y'all used to have the answer in class. And you used to have your hand up for so long, and the teacher didn't call you yet, but you would not take your hand down. You would hold it up with the other hand, and then you're like, ooh. I know the answer. This person has something to say now because Vivek is being listened to more than they are. So now they are willing to go there, beer in hand, and blurt out something else that's ignorant.
But we can't change the way that we operate in our own life. And I'm going to finish this thought, and then you get to respond, because I think this is good. We don't do this enough. Open debate. I love this. I think what we've had in our country before is a tyranny of the majority, and that's what we worry about. But right now, we don't have a tyranny of the majority. What we have in this country right now is a tyranny of the minority. That's what we have right now, a tyranny of the fringe minority that tells you to shut up, sit down, and do as you're told. No, we have to stand for what is true. And so I promised you will have a chance to respond. I'm going to keep my promise. You tell me. This is good. We don't do this enough in our country anymore. Open conversation. Tell me.
I was a child when I knew that I was gay. Not the fact that I wanted to change my gender, but living here in this town, I knew that I wanted, that I was a lesbian, that I was attracted to females.
You said it first. You said it right the first time. When you was a child, you knew that you wanted to be with girls. Like, you knew that you wanted. It was all about what you wanted. Okay.
And you know what's
But I had to hide it.
And when did you grow? When was that? In the 90s?
Oh, no. Let's see, I came out when I was 19, so I was born in 1983.
So I think where we are now, we're in the similar generation. I think things today aren't what they were. I grew up in Ohio in the 1990s, and we're in a different place today. And I think this could be a very productive conversation. I don't get to do this in the campaign trail often, where we all are in our own echo chambers and silos. So it's good for us to talk to each other. I like that. Something funny's happened, I think, in the last few years in this country with the civil rights movement. It's right when we get to closest to the promised land of true racial equality that we then start obsessing over systemic racism. It's right when we get to the point in our national history where whoever you are, you can marry who you want, where you want, if you want, whatever gender they are, that we start then obsessing over the sexual identity revolution. You know what's actually funny right now is many people who are lesbian or gay are being taught to say that, hey, if you're a woman attracted to a woman, you're not a woman, you're a man. So that's the transgender movement. The L and the G, first of all, don't have that much to do with each other. The G and the T don't have as much to do with each other. But we're clubbing all of these things up to create more division. I hate the term persons of color. You want to know why? You take 100 different cultures, combine them into one thing that's designed to be opposed to this other thing we call white. And so the way I view this is,
it's ridiculous.
you are free to live your life the way you wish to, as long as you don't hurt anybody else in return. And I'm free to do the same thing too. But that doesn't mean we change the way men and women compete in sports. That doesn't mean we change the way men and women, I don't think that just because you identify as a man doesn't mean that you're entitled to a trophy. You agree? Do you agree with me on that?
That's different.
You agree with me on that?
I get you. I get you.
You agree with me on that? All right.
I get you. That's different.
Because men shouldn't be swimming with women in women's sports competitions. Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's different.
That's what I'm talking about, right?
100%, that's
And so that's what I'm saying is it's not all the same thing, right? And so we got to respect people and treat them with dignity. Every one of us is different.
I love that he did that, but he didn't have to. I love that he did that, but he didn't have to. And she actually was just saving face, she or he, whatever way that this person, look at themselves. They were just saving face. That high five and that pound and that agreement with Vivek Ramaswamy was extremely disingenuous. Hopefully y'all didn't buy that. I didn't. That was not meaningful. She meant nothing by it. That was just, he didn't stand me up. Listen, he didn't, I'm not going to let it look like he completely wiped me off the floor with his calm debating skills. So I'm going to say, yeah, finally, I'm going to give you approval on that one. Here, come give me a fist bump, because I'm the authority of this conversation. We're talking about the gays and who's the gay in the conversation. Yes, you got that right. And shit, give me the fist bump. All right. You said something right. Now I'm going to go back there and you just make sure you continue to say something right. That was a fake show of appreciation for what Vivek Ramaswamy said. And I'm thinking that it still completely went over her head. And that's just how it is, man.
But all I'll say is kids aren't the same as adults, and if we can agree on that, then I think we at least made some progress tonight, and we'll have a step forward. So thank you, I appreciate that. So, and I respect, that takes courage to stand up and be the only, you know what, I'll tell you this. When you're the only person in a room, and I'll come to you next, when you're the only person in a room who believes what you do, I will always tell you, stand up and say it. That's how we're gonna get this country back, is actually all of us starting to speak openly again, and that's how we're gonna get this country back. And I love your shirt, she's got an American flag, so you get the next question.
Shout out to Vivek Ramaswamy, and I was gonna have a whole lot to say, but I ended up saying some of it while in the middle of my in the middle of the video. I just think that sitting down, waiting for someone to say something that you disagree with, so that you can pop slick and say something, so that you can be heard. I think that's just childish. You're not listening to understand what they're saying. You're listening to respond and interject and retort. You want to give your opposite thoughts on a thing, and that's the only reason why you're listening. She stood up extremely early into his into his talk, and picked up her beer and flipped them off and said, "Read between the lines," you know what I mean, and walked off, and then came back with more to say, raised her hand 3 more times, and blah, 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 and then gave some approval for saying something right and all this other stuff. Get the hell up out of here, man. Grow the hell up, okay? How about that one? Grow up and stop being so selfish. It's not only about you. Yeah, you realized at an extremely young age that you wanted to be with girls. So you said, maybe that means I'm a boy. So I'm going to go ahead and change my gender and just date girls now as a boy. But I mean, you just went from being a lesbian to a trans man at this point. For what? Because you felt like you were more of a man. You felt like standing up. When you stand up and talk to people, you stand up with your legs open, and you probably grab your crotch and spit, and that make you feel like a man, huh? You grab your crotch, you spit, you drink a beer, and you fart, and you laugh. You make lewd jokes about girls when they walk by. Hey, but baby, look at that ass. Huh? Give me a 5. Ain't I right? Ain't I right? Ain't I right? Ain't I right? And that make you feel like you're a man. That does not make you a man. I'm sorry. Not even if you get your breasts cut off and they turn into pecs, and you grow an actual ding-a-ling, rather than having to walk around with a strap on all the time just so you feel more like a man. That will not make you a man. Sorry.